Everyone, Loro here. Welcome everyone to a special Sports Center show with Loro and Matt. As we're going to be revealing our mock draft today. We're also going to be talking about other sports as well, as we'll talk about the Dodgers lost yesterday to the Reds. We're also going to be talking about the Lakers' huge win over the Orlando Magic. And Matt, how's it going?
Going good. How are you doing?
Going well. Lots of stuff to talk about. We're going to start off with the NFL draft, our 2021 NFL mock draft. As 2 days from now is the 2021 NFL draft. I already have my mock draft already released on our social media platforms. You can check that out. I know you checked it out, and then you were kind of like wowed by it.
Yeah.
So, anyways, let's get started with our mock draft. So let's start with who is going to be. So basically, I've been hearing that before we get our mock draft, and so do you think you'll see maybe one of the players get dealt? Like, do you think Jimmy Garoppolo is going to get traded from what I'm hearing? Do you think that he could be traded elsewhere or get released?
Yeah, I think he'll get traded. I think that it's clear Kyle Shanahan wants a new quarterback and wants to get started on that. And I think he can get better value for Garoppolo right now than waiting around till the season starts. So I think they are going to trade him between now and the deadline or the draft.
All right, so let's start off with our mock draft. So let's start with who is going to be the number one pick in the 2021 NFL draft. We already know it's a foregone conclusion, but I'm going to say it right now. With the first pick in the 2021 NFL draft, I have the Jacksonville Jaguars selecting Trevor Lawrence, quarterback from Clemson. I think that's already a foregone conclusion, although I've been hearing reports that they're also looking at Zach Wilson and Justin Fields. But I think Trevor Lawrence is the route that the Jaguars are going in, like we talked about many times in the offseason.
Yep, I agree. It'd be a huge surprise if they didn't take Trevor Lawrence, that's for sure.
And is that your pick for number one for the Jags?
Yep.
Yeah, I think if you look at it, I think the Jaguars need a franchise quarterback. And I think assuming they get Trevor Lawrence, I think Urban Meyer is going to help develop him. I think the Jaguars' offense is going to be in good hands. I think that when they tagged Cam Robinson, I think that's going to shore up that offensive line. I think aside from the Jaguars getting Trevor Lawrence, I think in one of their picks, I have them in their next pick. I have in this mock draft potential college reunions.
All right.
So we're going to get to those reunions that I have laid out in just a minute. So with the second pick in the 2021 NFL draft, you and I may be different here, but I have the Jets taking a quarterback. I have them picking Zach Wilson, quarterback BYU.
Yep, I agree. I think they're also going with Zach Wilson.
They need somebody to be a Pro Bowl quarterback. They did not get that from Mark Sanchez. And Joe Namath was an all-pro when he was a New York Jet, but I feel like that with Zach Wilson, he'll live up to the New York hype and media.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think that I'm just getting need to get my hat here. I got a couple of hats. Yeah, I think that they're going to have Zach Wilson. It seems like that's who they're settling on. And good luck to the Jets.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the Jets are going to. I think the Jets will finally get their guy going for it. I thought they had it in Sam Darnold, but I just thought that the Jets. I think Adam Gase just ruined his career there.
Yeah.
And I think Sam Darnold will get his career saved with Matt Rule in Carolina.
Okay.
So that's what I think. So with the third pick in the 2021 NFL draft, we have a trade, but we also have a trade in this draft too. As before we get to this pick, the Kansas City Chiefs have traded the 31st pick in the first round of the 2021 draft to the Baltimore Ravens.
Oh, okay.
Since the Chiefs got Orlando Brown Jr. from the Ravens to kind of shore up that offensive line, Baltimore now has the 31st pick.
All right.
So, and in this pick, the Miami Dolphins have traded the number 3 pick to the San Francisco 49ers.
Yes, they have. Yeah.
So, with the third pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the San Francisco 49ers select Justin Fields, quarterback from Ohio State.
Ooh, yeah, that'll be a good choice. I think it's going to come down to either Justin Fields or Mac Jones, and I'm going to go with Mac Jones on this one.
I actually have the Patriots in my mock draft. I'll tell you that in a minute. I have the Patriots taking him in with pick 15, but I'm leaning towards either Mac Jones to the Patriots at 15, or if he's not available at 15, I wouldn't mind Trey Lance, because I think Trey Lance will also come in right away and earn that starting job and take that away from Cam Newton.
Okay,
that's what I think too. So the fourth pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, I gave this a lot of thought because the Atlanta Falcons are needing some playmakers to kind of help save Matt Ryan's career, just because now with Arthur Smith there, I'm hearing that the Falcons might even cut Julio Jones or release him. Do you see the Falcons doing that?
I guess so. If they can free up some cap space and maybe make another deal or trade, yeah, maybe.
Well, like, if you look at it, the Falcons have Calvin Ridley to potentially be Julio Jones' successor on the outside.
Yeah.
So with the fourth pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, I have the Atlanta Falcons selecting Kyle Pitts, tight end from
Florida. Yep, I got Kyle Pitts going too. I think it's a pretty good consensus that he's going to help him out on offense a lot. He's a really, really good tight end. Could be even a generational type of tight end. So, yeah, I'm going with Kyle Pitts as well, and that'll help Matt Ryan a lot.
That will, absolutely. I mean, when they traded Austin Hooper, the Atlanta Falcons offense looked lost, but Arthur Smith is looking to kind of help Matt Ryan play to his strengths and actually run the same offense that Kyle Shanahan did when Kyle was offensive coordinator with the Atlanta Falcons. So there were talks about the Cowboys moving up to the fourth spot and getting them, but I just don't think it's happening. I have the Cowboys getting a corner in this draft, so we'll talk about that in just a minute. So with the fifth pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, I have a college reunion here. The Cincinnati Bengals select Jamar Chase, wide receiver from LSU.
Ooh, yeah, that's he sat out last season, right?
He did, but I feel like that the Bengals can definitely get an offensive lineman in the second round. But I think with moving on from AJ Green, you got to get another receiver on the outside. And I'm telling you, Joe Burrow is wanting Jamar Chase to join him in Cincinnati.
Yeah, this is a tough one. It's either Jamar Chase or Penei Sewell, and like my brain says like Penei Sewell. Like Burrow just went down with a terrible leg injury, right? And it's like that's a result of the offensive line, and the Bengals should, I think, draft Penei Sewell. But I think that it seems like Burrow really wants Jamar Chase. And he's a really good receiver, and I think that maybe that'll be enough to convince the Bengals to draft him. So I'm going to go with Jamar Chase as well.
I am. I was kind of torn with this pick because I was kind of thinking like if the Bengals could always get offensive line in the later rounds just because they could find their right tackle of the future in the second round or get a left tackle in the third round just because they could see someone that could be a good blindside protector to Joe Burrow, but actually they have that in Jonah Williams from Alabama, but he was hurt.
Yeah.
So with that being said, the sixth pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, it was originally going to be the Eagles pick, but that has been traded to the Miami Dolphins. So with the sixth pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, there's another college reunion I have. The Miami Dolphins select Devontae Smith, wide receiver from Alabama, to join Tua Tagovailoa.
Okay.
So I see so far I have 2 college reunions in my mock draft, but the next one will most likely be 1 too, and we'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah. There's another tough one here. I'm really tempted to call a trade here. I'm going to say that the Denver Broncos trade up from Miami to get Justin Fields.
Whoa, that's a big trade right there if Denver does that. But in the mock draft I have, I don't have the Denver Broncos getting I don't have the Denver Broncos trading up. I have them getting a quarterback though, but it's not one of the guys you picked. But the reason why I have the Dolphins getting Devontae Smith is because I feel like that Tua needs more weapons, and the Dolphins are building around Tua Tagovailoa, and that's one of the picks I have for the Dolphins when it comes to an Alabama reunion. So with the next first-round pick I have, an Alabama player is going to be going to the Dolphins as well to join Tua Tagovailoa and help shape that offense. So that's what I have. That's what I have going on here. So now with the 7th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, I have a mock trade here. The Los Angeles Chargers the Detroit Lions have traded that pick to the Los Angeles Chargers.
Ooh.
So with the 7th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, I have the Los Angeles Chargers selecting Penei Sewell, an offensive tackle from Oregon. And I really think that I was kind of thinking that could the Jets get Penei Sewell? I kind of think that the Chargers should get Penei Sewell because Justin Herbert wants him there. And the Chargers could definitely use more offensive line depth and use Penei Sewell either on the left side or on the right side.
Yeah.
So what do you think? What do you think of that?
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's gonna be pretty good for sure. I think that so this is the Lions pick. I'm gonna say that the Detroit Lions, I think that they're gonna want to give Goff a little bit of some weapon here to help him out in offense. And I think they're going to go with wide receiver Alabama, Jalen Waddle.
Whoa. Jalen Waddle wouldn't be bad. I mean, I think that could really help Jared Goff on that sense. But I could see the Lions trading back just because they could get more picks in return, you know? But by next year, they're going to have 2 first-round picks since they traded Matthew Stafford.
Yep.
So, with that being said, the number 8 with the 8th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, I have the Carolina Panthers selecting Micah Parsons, offensive outside linebacker from Penn State.
Okay, the Panthers?
Yes, because the Panthers need defense for sure. They already have their quarterback of the future in Sam Darnold. So I was kind of thinking that if they didn't get Sam Darnold, the Panthers would get a guy like Justin Fields or Trey Lance.
Yeah, but I think here the Panthers going to go with Penei Sewell. I think they got Darnold, so I don't think they'll go for a quarterback here, and I think they're going to bring in Penei Sewell to help him out.
Penei Sewell would be a possible fit for the Panthers, but in my mock draft, I have him going to the Chargers because Justin Herbert wants Penei Sewell to join him because I kind of want to see an Oregon Duck reunion in LA. Just because they drafted Herbert last year, the Chargers have their quarterback of the future. You have to protect the quarterback of the future, and Penei Sewell could definitely join his buddy Herbert in LA and find that Oregon Duck magic.
Yeah.
So, with the 9th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, I have the Denver Broncos selecting John always got to get this right this time. It is Trey Lance, quarterback from North Dakota State.
All right, yeah.
Because I am not from what I saw in Drew Lock last year. I just think he's a bust.
Yeah, I think he is too.
So who do you have with the 9th pick for the Denver Broncos?
Well, I think so because I had a trade between the Broncos and Dolphins, so this is actually the Dolphins for me picking, and I think they'll go with Alabama wide receiver Devonta Smith.
Just like we both have Devontae Smith going to the Dolphins, but sometimes, like in your scenario, you could see the Dolphins trading back for more picks.
Yeah.
But you know the Dolphins are going to win this draft. So when we go on air next week, we'll talk about who won the draft and who lost the draft. But I do expect the Dolphins to have a very good draft.
Uh-huh.
And we're now in double digits. So with the 10th pick in the 2021 NFL draft, Cowboys need a defensive back so badly. The Dallas Cowboys select Patrick Surtain II, defensive back from Alabama.
Yep, I'm going to agree with you there. I think they go cornerback, and Patrick Surtain II out of Alabama is what they'll get.
They need a defensive back badly. And I think that Dan Quinn is looking to redesign and reshape that defense with good defensive backs, good edge rushers. Dallas Cowboys need that piece to help get that defense going. But they have the offense to do it. I thought about the Cowboys getting Kyle Pitts, and man, that offense would be sick with CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper and Michael Gallup and Dak Prescott. That would be sick, but I feel like Dallas will be fine. But I just feel like the Cowboys do need a tight end, but they could draft one in the later rounds. They need a big time tight end that could help ease the pain of losing Jason Witten. You know?
Yep.
That's what I think here. So, with the 11th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, I have the New York Giants selecting Gregory Rousseau, defensive end from Miami.
Oh, okay. Why do you like him?
I think the Giants need edge rush help, although I think the Giants may need more weapons for Daniel Jones. Defense is pretty much what I think the Giants need the most. Get somebody opposite of Leonard Williams to kind of complement him, and I think that the Giants will be in good shape.
I'm thinking the same thing along you, where they need help on the line. I'm going to go with a different person. I'm going to go with Kwity Paye out of Michigan, edge rusher.
I have him going in the later rounds too, probably in one of the Baltimore Ravens picks. So I'll tell you that in just a minute. So the 12th pick, that has been the 49ers have officially traded that pick. It was originally going to be the Dolphins pick, but that pick has been officially traded to the Philadelphia Eagles. And with the 12th pick in the 2021 NFL draft, the Philadelphia Eagles select Jalen Waddle, wide receiver from Alabama, and Jalen Hurts gets a target.
All right, I like that. That's pretty good.
Because if they're going to build around Jalen Hurts, the Eagles are, which I think I expect them to, you got to get a receiver for Jalen Hurts. And I do expect Jalen Waddle to have an Alabama reunion with Jalen Hurts since he went to Alabama too.
And with my 12th pick to the Eagles, I'm going to go with Penn State linebacker Micah Parsons.
He is a good option. He could be good for either he could be good with the Panthers or maybe the Eagles, but the Eagles need receivers so badly. But I talked about with my buddy Vince, who you were friends with on Facebook. He told me that Howie Roseman is a puppet and he just doesn't know how to draft receivers and defensive backs.
Yeah.
So that's Howie Roseman for you. I want Howie Roseman to wow me this draft and get a receiver. Because I didn't think he nailed it with the Jalen Reagor pick last year.
Yep.
Although Rager's good when healthy, but he's just not elite.
Yeah.
All right. This pick right here, in my scenario, the LA Chargers have traded that pick to your hometown Detroit Lions. So with the 13th pick in the 2021 NFL draft, I have the Detroit Lions selecting Rashawn Slater, an offensive tackle from Northwestern, to kind of help protect Jared Goff.
Yeah, that'll help him out quite a bit.
And in your scenario, you don't have the Chargers moving up to the 7th spot and getting Penny Sewell.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. I don't think so. This is a tough one. I think the Chargers will go with either Christian Darrisaw, offensive lineman out of Virginia Tech, or J.C. Horn, cornerback out of South Carolina.
J.C. Horn wouldn't be bad at all. I think with the Chargers losing Casey Hayward, the Chargers need his successor.
Yeah, I think so. I think they're going to go with J.C. Horn out of South Carolina, cornerback.
I trust Tom Telesco drafting. I think Tom Telesco knows what he's doing in the draft.
Yeah.
So I think that the Chargers, they need an offensive line for sure, but I think they need a defensive back, but also edge rush too if they didn't re-sign Melvin Ingram. But I do think that Melvin Ingram stayed with the he actually still a free agent. I don't know if he's going to remain a Charger or not. So I think the Chargers will be in a good spot with J.C. Horn, but I have him going somewhere else in my mock draft. So with the 14th pick in the 2021 NFL draft, I have the Minnesota Vikings selecting Christian Barmore, defensive lineman, interior defensive lineman from Alabama.
Ooh, that's a good one.
And I say that because the Vikings, since they moved on from Linval Joseph, which was kind of like a big loss for them defensively, they need a guy in the middle.
Yeah.
And Christian Barmore will really help shape and scheme the defense that Mike Zimmer is designing in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Although he has some good pieces like Anthony Barr and Eric Kendricks, I just think that part of the defense for the Vikings is a need right now.
Yep.
So what about you? Who do you have the Minnesota Vikings selecting at 14?
This is a tough one.
Do you think they go quarterback because you're not sold on Kirk Cousins? Do they go they already got a receiver in Justin Jefferson. Do they go tight end because Kyle Rudolph left?
Yeah, they might. I am going to go with quarterback. I'm going to go with Trey Lance out of North Dakota State. I think they're going to put a little pressure on Cousins. And Trey Lance, he's local, North Dakota, not far from Minneapolis. So I think they're going to go with Trey Lance.
That could be
the successor to Kirk Cousins.
That could definitely put a lot of pressure on Kirk Cousins if they go with that, if they go quarterback here, because the Vikings need an answer for their long-term quarterback issues, because I felt like that the Vikings didn't do such a good job in giving up on Teddy Bridgewater too soon after that ACL thing. Because I was thinking Teddy Bridgewater was their guy going forward, but I just feel like that Mike Zimmer didn't use him correctly.
Yeah.
The team didn't use Bridgewater correctly. That's why I felt like, look, Teddy Bridgewater is that talented, but why would you give up on him so soon? And he might be losing a starting job in Carolina.
Yeah.
All right, so with the 15th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, my New England Patriots select Mac Jones, quarterback from Alabama. I know you have Mac Jones going to San Fran with your third, but I have Mac Jones going to New England at 15 to take away the starting job from Cam Newton.
Yeah. There you go. That'll be a fun one. I think it's I think they like New England needs like an exciting, dynamic playmaker, but I don't think that's Belichick's style. And I'm going to say they draft Elijah Vera Tucker, offensive lineman out of USC. I think they'll try to get some more offensive line help.
They do need offensive line help. You got the Elijah Vera Tucker going from USC.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I'm going to change. Not that offensive line. I'm going to go with Christian Darrisaw.
Oh, yeah, you're right. They definitely need a right tackle just because they traded Marcus Cannon to Houston, and they definitely need to shore up that offensive line. And the reason why I have them going quarterback is because, look, the Patriots spent a lot of money this offseason getting Hunter Henry, Jonnu Smith. They got Kendrick Bourne for the Niners. They got Nelson Aguilar. They spent a lot of money on edge rushers, especially Matt Judon, who's I think is going to be a great pickup with great addition to the Patriots defense. So even though we think I do think Bill Belichick knows how to draft, but I just feel like that he just doesn't know how to draft playmakers, especially receivers.
Yep.
So with the 16th pick in the 2021 NFL draft, I have the Arizona Cardinals and Kyler Murray and Cliff Kingsbury selecting Caleb Farley, defensive back from Virginia Tech.
Yeah, we're in agreement. I think they go cornerback here to make up for the loss of Patrick Peterson, and I'm going with Caleb Farley.
Yeah, I think he definitely will help ease the pain of losing Patrick Peterson. The Cardinals already have a breakout safety in Budda Baker, and I think you gotta build around Budda Baker now that Patrick Peterson's gone.
Yep.
So with the 17th pick in the 2021 NFL draft, the Las Vegas Raiders select Jeremiah Osu-Kormaya, inside linebacker from Notre Dame.
Yeah, I agree. I'm taking Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. I think he's what they need on defense there to help shore their defense.
They did get some nice pieces on defense, especially Yannick Ngakoue to help with the edge. But if they get this guy out of Notre Dame and Jeremiah Owusu-Kormaya, watch out for that Raiders defense. I think he'll probably take over for what Khalil Mack did.
Yeah.
Because I think the Raiders defense has not been the same without Khalil Mack.
Yeah.
So I think the Raiders go in that route, and I think that they need to find a way to get into playoffs with an elite defense. So with the 18th pick in the 2021 NFL draft, here is another the big three of the Alabama Crimson Tide offense will be together. The Miami Dolphins select Najee Harris, running back from Alabama. And
I agree too.
The big three of Alabama will be together again. Tua, Najee Harris, and Devontae Smith.
Yep, I agree. I think they need a little bit of playmaker pop, for Tua there, and I think they'll go with the running back from Alabama to help him out.
I love Alabama players. So in my mock draft, I have two Alabama quarterbacks headlining the AFC East with New England and Miami.
Yep.
Because the reason why I want Mac Jones to be a Patriot is I want him to go up against Tua Tagovailoa.
Yeah.
Twice a year, because he plays for the Dolphins, and Mac Jones being at the Patriots will definitely help. He kind of plays like Tom Brady, but I think he might be a lot better than Tom Brady.
Yeah.
So, with the 19th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Washington football team selects Christian Darrisaw, an offensive tackle from Virginia Tech, and they need an offensive lineman to kind of shore up whoever their franchise quarterback may be. It's not going to be Ryan Fitzpatrick or Taylor Heineke, though.
Yeah, I agree.
Who do you have the Washington football team getting at 19?
I'm going to go with also offensive lineman Elijah Vera Tucker out of University of Southern California.
Yes, I think you got a Pac-12 player going to the Washington football team. They did get Sua Crivens, the Washington football team did, but I feel like that the Washington football team So what I was saying is that whatchamacallit?
About Washington football team?
Yeah, I was saying that with the Washington football team is that I do think, however, I think that the Washington football team will definitely get a quarterback in the second or third round.
Okay.
So with that being said, let's talk about who's going to be picking at 20. So with the 20th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, I have the Chicago Bears selecting a quarterback, and that will be here we go. Kyle Trask, quarterback from Florida, to kind of so that Matt Nagy has a long-term quarterback.
All right. I think they're going to go with Tevin Jenkins, offensive lineman out of Oklahoma State.
And why is that? Is it going to help protect guys like Nick Foles or Andy Dalton if they start?
Yeah, I think so. Yep.
All right. So now let's talk about who's going to be the 21st pick in the 2021 NFL Draft. The Indianapolis Colts select Alex Leatherwood, offensive tackle, Alabama.
All right.
So
I'm gonna go with a playmaker for them. I'm going with Elijah Moore, wide receiver out of Ole Miss.
the reason why I have Alex Leatherwood out of Alabama going to the Colts is because they need a left tackle to fill the void that was left by Anthony Costanzo.
Uh-huh.
And in my opinion, I just think that having Leatherwood there will help shore up that already deep and stacked offensive line for the Colts and protect Carson Wentz.
Uh-huh.
And with the 22nd pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, Mike Vrabel and the Tennessee Titans select Azeez Ojulari, outside linebacker from Georgia.
Yeah, that's what I'm going with too. Azeez Ojulari. I think they'll be a good fit on a team with a defensive-minded coach like Mike Vrabel.
Oh, absolutely. You're absolutely right about that. So, with the 23rd pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, we do have the Jets selecting Zach Wilson, but the New York Jets select Jalen Mayfield, offensive tackle from Michigan, play right tackle opposite of Mekhi Becton, and I think you get a right tackle to help shore up that offensive line to protect Zach Wilson.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go a different direction. I think they're going to go defense because Robert Saleh is a defensive-minded coach. And I'm going to go with Greg Newsome II, cornerback out of Northwestern.
So you think that the Jets would go offense first with their first pick in the first round, and then in the second round, you think they need defense because Robert Saleh's defensive-minded?
Yeah, so I think they're going to go with Greg Newsome II. Yep.
All right, with the 24th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, I have the Pittsburgh Steelers selecting J.C. Horn, defensive back, South Carolina Gamecock.
All right. Why do you think that?
They need defensive backs. I mean, although you have Cam Hayward or something like that, but I think that the Steelers definitely need to strengthen that need of the football and get more defensive backs so that they can intercept the football and all that.
Yeah, I think I would usually pick defense here, but I think they might go with Samuel Cosme, offensive lineman out of Texas.
And you say that because you think the Steelers need to fill the void left by Marcus Gilbert, who retired.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, I have with the 25th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft. This is going to be a Clemson Tiger reunion right here. The Jacksonville Jaguars select Travis Etienne, running back from Clemson. Although that the Jaguars have James Robinson in the backfield, I think there will be a Clemson Tiger reunion with Trevor Lawrence and Travis Etienne.
Okay.
That's what I see, because I think that to ease his transition into the NFL, get somebody that he's familiar with to join him in Jacksonville. Get a Clemson Tiger reunion with together.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with another offensive weapon for Lawrence. I'm going to go with Rondale Moore, wide receiver out of Purdue.
That won't be a bad pick at all.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, with the 26th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select Dylan Moses, linebacker from Alabama.
All right. I'm going with defense from Alabama too. I'm going to go with defensive lineman Christian Barmore.
Dylan Moses, I think the Browns need linebacker help, but if they get Barmore like I have the Vikings do, they would do that to kind of help take over the role of Sheldon Richardson, who got released recently.
Yeah.
All right. With that being said, let's talk about who is going to be picked with the 27th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, as the Baltimore Ravens now have 2 first-round picks as they traded one of their picks to the Kansas City Chiefs. So, with the 27th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Baltimore Ravens select Kitwe Payne, defensive end from Michigan.
All right. I'm going to go with Trayvon Moehrig, safety out of Texas Christian University.
Oh, okay. So, with that being said, now let's talk about who's going to be who's that pick again?
Trayvon Moehrig, safety out of Texas Christian University.
Oh, okay.
Or Trevin Moehrig, I don't know how you pronounce it.
All right. So, let's talk about who's going to be picked with the number 28 pick in the 2021 NFL Draft. The New Orleans Saints select Drew Brees' successor right here. Davis Mills, quarterback from Stanford.
Ooh, all right. I'm going to go with defense side of the ball. I'm going to go with Zaven Collins, linebacker out of Tulsa.
That's not a bad pick at all there, just because I think the Saints need some defense, but I feel like that they need to draft a long-term quarterback to kind of be Drew Brees' successor. Do I see that in Taysom Hill? No, but he's good in special packages.
Yeah.
And Jameis Winston's just a backup.
Yep.
So I don't see any of them starting, even though Sean Payton loves Taysom Hill. So, with that being said, with the 29th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers draft a weapon for Aaron Rodgers, and that is Rashad Bateman, wide receiver from Minnesota.
All right. That's actually a really good pick, yeah. I also think they're going to go with the weapon. I'm going to go with Kadarius Toney out of Florida.
Yeah, I think
wide receiver.
I think that the Packers definitely need a playmaker, and I think that the Green Bay Packers are going to find a way to get a victory, find a way to get more weapons for Aaron Rodgers aside from Devontae Adams and also Aaron Jones. So, with that being said, now in the 30s, I have with the 30th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Buffalo Bills select Jalen Tumine, defensive tackle from Pittsburgh.
All right.
And I say that because they need interior defensive linemen. They need guys to stop the run. I felt like that the Bills didn't have that in the AFC Championship game last year.
Yeah. That's good thinking for sure.
All right. Now, who do you have? Who do you have for the Buffalo Bills pick at 30?
I'm going with Asante Samuel Jr. out of Florida State.
That wouldn't be
wide
bad
receiver. Or not cornerback.
That wouldn't be bad at all. Get somebody opposite of Tre'Davious White, and then you get somebody, and then the Buffalo Bills defense will actually be very good.
Yep.
And now let's talk about who's going to be the 31st pick in the 2021 draft. That pick is via Kansas City. The Baltimore Ravens select Samuel Kosimi, offensive tackle from Texas.
Yeah, that'd be a good pick for sure.
And I say that
go ahead.
And I say that because I think that the Baltimore Ravens need an a left tackle for Lamar Jackson. So when they traded away Orlando Brown Jr., they need somebody to kind of fill that void. In that trade. So I still think the Ravens will be good, but I just felt like that the Chiefs needed Orlando Brown Jr. more to kind of help shore up that offensive line for Kansas City, who looks to potentially get back to the Super Bowl again.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I think that's good thinking for sure. I'm gonna go with offensive. For Baltimore. I'm gonna go with Landon Dickerson, offensive line at Alabama.
That wouldn't be bad at all, too. I mean, Ozzie Newsome likes Alabama players. I mean, Baltimore Ravens people love Alabama players, too.
Yep.
All right, so the 32nd and final pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the defending Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Bruce Arians and Tom Brady select Liam Eichenberg, offensive tackle from Notre Dame.
All right.
And I say that because in order to run it back, I think Tom Brady would like to get another offensive lineman to join him in Tampa Bay. Aside from him getting Tristan Wirfs, you could also move guys around, like move Ali Marpet to left guard, move Donovan Smith in the interior, and then get Liam Eichenberg to play left tackle.
Yep. As much as I would like to see them draft a quarterback, and I would go with Davis Mills out of Stanford, I don't think Tom is not going to approve of that. So I think they're going to go with offensive lineman as well, Alex Leatherwood out of Alabama.
That would be good. I mean, I think – so you think right now out of this draft – so who do you think in this draft will win the draft? Do you think it's going to be the Dolphins or the Jaguars?
I think the Jaguars are going to do pretty well.
They're going to do great this draft, but you think that if the Jaguars win this draft, do you think that's going to make them a good team heading into the regular season?
I think they still got a ways to go. They got to climb ahead of the Colts and the Titans, and so we'll see. Though they'll be pretty good though.
What about who do you think will not have a good draft? Who do you think is going to be your loser in the draft?
Probably the Lions will be one. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I think the Lions have a lot of options, but we'll see. I like Dan Campbell. I'm hoping he has a really good draft.
All right. So that being said, folks, now let's talk about yesterday's Dodgers loss to the Cincinnati Reds, as Julio Urias didn't look himself last week, but also this past weekend, the Dodgers just looked very tired, and the Padres just gave them their run for their money.
Yep. Yeah, Dodgers are sputtering a little bit here, but it's early in the season and that stuff can happen. So, I think they'll be bouncing back here pretty quickly.
I think they will. I mean, Walker Buehler has to play stopper tonight, and I think that Walker Buehler will have a great game tonight. I'm looking forward to watching his start today, and I'm looking forward to actually calling his start on the ColorCast app later this evening.
Yeah, I'll be looking forward to listening.
So I think that the Dodgers will at least take 2 out of 3 from the Reds, and then the series coming up, they take on the the Milwaukee Brewers in Milwaukee.
That'll be a tough one. Dodgers are tied right now with the Giants for the division. So if they win, they play the Brewers. You'll have two division leaders going at it in Milwaukee.
Yes, they do. So they will have some division leaders there, that's for sure. So with that being said, I think the Dodgers will end up winning this game today. I think they need it. They need this one badly.
Yeah.
And then the Giants, however, won last night. But also, if you look at it, Anthony DeSclafani, I beg your pardon, pitched a complete game shutout yesterday. And the Giants has been very good so far.
They have, yeah. So have the Royals.
Absolutely. Now, that being said, how about your Detroit Tigers? So I watched their game on Monday against the Royals, but they've kind of fallen off a cliff as expected.
Yeah, they've been getting blown out quite a bit here. They're the worst team in baseball, I think. Yeah.
Not to blame AJ Hinch for this.
Right, yeah, they have a young team that just, they need a couple more years.
And tonight they start a 3-game series in Chicago to take on the White Sox.
All right, yeah, should be exciting.
And tomorrow, Clayton Kershaw starts for the Dodgers tomorrow against Sonny Gray.
And that's Colorado?
Cincinnati Reds still.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So that being said, let's also talk about the Lakers' big win over the Orlando Magic. So they finally get out of the snide. Anthony Davis is back, but the next thing is LeBron James is coming back next.
When is he coming back?
Maybe next week or something like that.
Okay. Okay, yeah. And the Mavericks making a little bit of a run. They beat the Lakers. Was it yesterday?
They beat the Lakers twice last week, especially Thursday night and Saturday night.
Yeah.
So
that's gonna be a tough. The West is really jammed up. I think with the Jazz, the Suns, the Clippers, all at the top. And then the Nuggets, unfortunately, they've just gotten a couple of bad injury breaks. They're not going to do much this year. But the Lakers, if they're healthy, even as a 5th seed, they could do very well. And then the Mavericks could be dangerous as a 6th seed sitting there. So we'll see if they play in one of the play-in games, though. Right now, those play-in games are the Trailblazers versus the Warriors and the Grizzlies versus the Spurs.
Yes, absolutely. So I think that the Lakers, however, will find a way to get a victory today. I mean, the Lakers, however, had a big win last night. Do you think the Lakers will have another huge win tomorrow against the Washington Wizards?
Yeah, I think they will. They'll beat them.
And what about the Pistons? Are they just basically tanking?
It looks like it. They're pretty bad. 19-43. 3-7 in their last 10 games, but the Magic are worse. The Magic are 1-9 in their last 10 games, and they're a little bit worse than the Pistons. But yeah, the Pistons are the second worst team in the NBA.
Yeah, you're right about the Pistons, but I really do think that the Pistons, however, I think that the Pistons are pretty much tanking. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So that being said, now let's talk about some hockey. So the Kings, however, are keeping their playoff hopes alive as they got a huge win yesterday over the Anaheim Ducks.
Yep. Looks like the Knights, the Avalanche, and the Wild have all clinched playoff berths in the West. In the East, the Hurricanes have clinched, and officially the Red Wings, Blue Jackets, Devils, and Sabres are all been eliminated from playoff contention.
Oh, wow. I mean, no surprise about the Sabres because the Sabres are not that good of a team. I think
the Ducks should be eliminated really soon, too.
What's that?
The Ducks should be eliminated soon.
Oh, of course. They're
terrible. Yeah.
They're atrociously bad.
Yeah, the Ducks and the Senators are both really bad.
They need to start draft. They need to draft to the future.
Yep.
So
Kings might be hanging in there, but I don't know. I don't think they'll get it.
you don't think they'll get in? You think St. Louis will end up getting the last spot?
Yeah.
Well, Arizona's hanging tough too, if you look at the Honda West division.
Yeah.
So, anyways, with that being said, let's talk about some soccer here. So, the Galaxy 2-0 in the Greg Vanney era as they got another big win against the New York Red Bulls.
Yeah, well, they're off to a good start, and just doing well. Chicharito looks a lot better and happier, so they're off to a good start.
Yes, and then the LAFC, they actually won their last game. They
tied the Sounders 1-1.
Yeah, was Carlos Vela back?
No, he didn't play. Neither did Diego Rossi. So they're not their best two players. So that was all right. They tied 1-1.
Actually, I think with LAFC, they're not the same team without Carlos Vela and Diego Rossi.
Yeah.
So that being said, here let's talk about some final thoughts here. So, what was your thoughts on Fernando Tatis Jr. allegedly looking down at the catcher signals as pretty much Trevor Bauer was speaking up about it?
Oh yeah, I don't know. That could be a little bit of controversy there. He had 5 home runs in that series against the Dodgers, so wouldn't surprise me if he was looking for pitches. What do you think?
That kind of surprised me that he was still looking for pitches down on the zone.
Yeah. Yep, that was a little bit of controversy there.
So, and also, let's talk about Shohei Ohtani's historic start. So he's become the first pitcher and DH to lead the majors in home runs since Babe Ruth 100 years ago.
Yeah, that's incredible.
That is incredible. But also, we have other final thoughts to talk about. What is your thoughts about the NHL coming to Turner Sports?
Yeah, hopefully it's a good deal for them. I guess they didn't want the contract with NBC anymore, and they got a pretty good one, and they'll also be on ESPN again.
Oh, that's the good old days. I love that I think having it on I think the NHL's had a good relationship with the ABC and Disney Network, so
yeah,
it's going to be good to hear Barry Melrose calling hockey games again with Steve Levy.
Yeah, for sure.
So anyways, what about this for our final thought here? The Lakers, do you think the Lakers will sweep this road trip and then beat the Kings at home and beat the Toronto Raptors at home?
I think they'll lose like one of those, but I think they'll have a pretty good trip here.
All right, Matt. With that being said, we'll talk to you next week. Looking forward to recapping the draft with you, and also looking forward to talking about more Dodgers and Lakers stuff. We're going to be talking about a lot of playoff races coming up. And don't forget, guys, before the NBA playoff starts, when the bracket's all set, Matt and I will be making our playoff predictions for the NBA and talk about who's going to go where and who's going to be winning the play-in games to play the 2 seed in the East and West and the 2 seed in the 7 and also the 8th seed in the Western Conference as well.
Yep. Okay. Sounds fun.
All right. We'll have a good week, and we'll talk to you next week.
Okay. See you next week, Loro.